We have a chock full of show.
We really do, because there's so much going on this weekend.
There's a lot going on.
There's the Meow Bow Wow.
For ARF, yes,
the
yes,
ARF.
that's Saturday.
That's Saturday night. There's a little function we'll talk about later. You and I are hosting Blue Mar.
Oh, lucky people. Lucky people.
The Out East.
By the way, does
Impact
Mrs.
Awards.
McCuddy know you're rating her wardrobe?
Yeah, okay, no,
Yeah, there
thank
we
you.
go. You're
I'm very comfortable with my,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, no, this is floral. I'm actually hosting a little later this afternoon a cannabis expo. And
Oh,
so I
with
thought
our
something
with Gary Buford.
with something plant related would be a good idea. The Ellen's 5K run, we're going to talk
That's this
to-
weekend. We have Julie Ratner here, who started the Ellen Hermanson Foundation, which has been a huge contribution here to the East End in the battle against cancer. So,
Also, the Southampton Arts Center is doing something that they do every year, which is the Summerfest. And it's actually two parties. It's a 6 o'clock dinner with some great entertainment. And then at 10 o'clock, it's called Summerfest After Dark. And they do a second party with a surprise guest. Some people stay for both, but that's also Saturday night. But the big news is every year, some of the most famous artists and writers come from all over, but come out here.
hold up that Dan's paper, the
many of-
Bible of the Hamptons scene.
Many of whom live here, and the artists and writers take. Somebody
Oh, I got an
just
email.
dinged you.
No,
All right, good.
no, I got an email.
It's your first this year. The artists and writers softball game Saturday, warming up at 2 o'clock, and then they start hitting the balls around at 2 p.m. And we are fortunate enough to have David Brandman here. David, welcome to the show. He actually has a shot. Does that have a volume?
I don't know. I think that's my computer.
He's shot on film and video, probably just video, the Artists and Writers game since what, 2007?
2007, yeah, we started filming that.
And this guy had a couple of shows on LTV,
Oh,
including
cool.
a talent show. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it was no doubt more entertaining than this one. But
This is trying to be. David, welcome to Weekend Live. We promise this is a show. I know it doesn't feel like one. And we're all about what's happening. And this is like one of the things a lot of people really look forward to.
Yeah, this will be the 75th year,
Wow.
right?
that's huge.
It's
75 years.
huge, yeah, so it's a milestone. And we've had just about anybody has played in this game. I haven't, so I guess I'm not really an anybody.
I mean, you've even had former presidents play in this
Yes,
game.
former presidents played and umpired. I mean, we've had like soccer players, Major League Pele played in the game.
Oh, wow.
Yogi Berra.
And it wasn't over until it was over.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no one goes to that game anymore because it's too
Too
crowded.
crowded, yeah. Oh, that was the truth about our ratings. And you have your own hat. Look at the.
Every year, Walter Bernard, very famed artist and illustrator,
Perfect.
he creates a new logo for us every year. We have a standard logo, but he creates a new one, and it goes on the shirts, it goes on the hats, and we sell them at the game, and the players also wear them, obviously. Different colors for the different sides. So it's a whole day event, because it starts at noon is the batting practice, and 2
Right.
is the game, right? But we also have things for kids there. We have kids running the bases. We have face painting and stuff like that
Yeah.
going on.
And it's all for a good cause or causes. You've raised a lot of money for whom?
Yes, so we raised money for 4 local charities on the East End. And so the East End Hospice, the Retreat, Phoenix House, which is actually just up the road here, Phoenix House Academy, okay, and the Eleanor Whitmore Early Child Care Center.
Now, can the artists and writers play this year because of the strike? Or
Oh.
they can play, but they can't?
I figured,
They can't
I figured
promote.
we'd get every artist, every writer you could think
They're
of.
here.
They're not
They're all
working.
out here,
But,
yeah. Yeah.
but no, it didn't make a difference, I guess. But we have some celebs every year.
Well, give us, I know you can't tell us everyone, and the big no secret is that Clinton's gonna come back and umpire again, but he didn't say that, I did.
I didn't say it either.
I've been going to every cocktail party I go to this week, they're all like, yeah, Clinton's coming again. So, I mean,
This will be his 35th anniversary of being involved with the game.
Wow.
no kidding.
Yeah, I wonder if you took this picture. I have the website right in front of me if we can show it. But
Do you have the one where he's holding his daughter, Chelsea?
he's wearing the hat.
Oh,
Site is awgame.org. So
Correct.
people can come by, buy a T-shirt, and they can
Joe
also
Torre.
purchase Joe Torre. Oh, there's President Clinton
Could
again.
they have imagined 75 years ago that it would be, have its own website and also?
I don't think there was an internet.
Right,
Yeah.
Nostradamus maybe predicted this, but and you photograph it or you videotape it and you do you have 3 or 4 cameras out there, you got the whole family
Yes.
involved in play-by-play and.
Yes, as much as they might hate me for that, I think.
Right.
But yeah, I have a play-by-play. One of my sons does that. Another one of my sons does the camera. He's very good at that. He used to do the camera when we did the shows here.
You're the Rupert Murdoch of Artists and Writers Softball Game.
Thank you very much.
And who won last year, and who's the favorite for this year?
So well, I don't know who a favorite is this year, but last year.
Well, who had the first draft pick this year? So
Well, they are trying to close it down a little bit more to be a little more. You have to be a bona fide artist or a bona fide writer or a big celeb, I guess.
yeah.
To really get in the game, because sometimes it expands into who's really a writer, who's really an artist. Well,
Yeah,
let's
they
see.
brought ringers, right? They would bring
Yes, they're very good at doing a ringer. They would bring the girls softball team that went to the World Series and stuff like this, and they got this pitcher and she could pitch 100 miles an hour, even though it's a slow pitch game. Stuff like that.
It's not like they brought Aaron Judge in or anything like that.
No, although we did have Jim Leyritz played in the game a few years. And so every time he came up and hit, it went over the tennis courts. So he hit it far.
Soon to be pickleball courts, maybe. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole fight.
Yeah.
But anyway, so last year was an interesting one. The writers ended up winning, but the artists were winning. The artists were winning up until the 9th inning. It was like
Wow.
18, I think, 17-2.
What?
And they came back at the bottom of the ninth.
How do you come back
Oh.
15 points?
If
Wow.
if you were there, you would have seen an incredible game. What a finish!
And you have the highlights
I
because
have the
you shoot it and cut a little highlights reel every
Right.
year.
And who would have known that it would have ended like that? So you
And
can
you
never
went
leave
home
early.
you told me, and didn't get that last year.
No, but
Is
one of
that
my cameras stopped working
Really?
at the ninth frame.
ready when you are, Mr. DeMille. Do you know
Yes,
that old joke?
yes. But we did have it, so it was fun. But it was a great ending, and everybody that stayed really loved that ending. It was
Now, if anyone
incredible.
wants to come see, they can just come on by and get tickets there, or do they have to go online?
No, you can go right to the field. It's at Herrick Park, right here in East Hampton.
And in case you don't know where Herrick Park is, that's right next to the Stop and Shop on Newtown Lane, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Behind
Okay,
it.
they just
Behind
redid
it.
the whole ball field. Jerry
Right.
Larson and his group of people put in a beautiful new field.
And where does your stuff run? Also on the AW site?
It runs on the
and
AW
YouTube?
site. You can see prior year's games highlights on there, and LTV airs it. I give them
Kudos.
the synopsis.
Oh, don't worry. People will see it someplace. So what's the weather going to be like? I know. Why don't you read the weather for the weekend,
Uh-oh.
and we'll press you into
Sorry.
service.
There we go. Was that you that we just heard on
Oh
the
yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
have a
that-
little-
that
we have a
was
little
me.
You there? Here, pass.
Oh,
it
there we go.
the
You can do the weather, David,
good.
for us.
Dave's
Thank
getting
you.
his glasses
Oh,
out.
good
We're
thing
putting
I
him
had
on the spot
glasses.
here. He hasn't seen this, but I have some good news for you about Saturday, in particular Sunday. What's going on?
Go to the green screen?
Oh, go to the green
Oh yeah,
screen,
yeah.
David.
Dave-
Bill, take him to the
they
green
want
screen.
to Take us out to the ballpark.
All right, I'm going to wear the hat then.
All right, yes, promote. Always be closing. David Brandman joined us at the last minute. He didn't know he was going to do this. He came to LTV.
There we go.
I see the beach. There he is.
There he is. Boom.
Ah,
It is a day at the beach. David, take it away. What's the weather?
Okay. The weekend weather is brought to you by Douglas Element Real Estate and by the Melissa Cohn Group with William Ravis Mortgage. If I pronounced
Yeah,
that
you got it right. You got it right. You got it right.
More at ravis.com. Saturday is going to be high in the mid 70s, mostly sunny, humidity at 58%. That's not bad, right? UV index of
No
8.
ad living, David.
Oh. The
No,
UV
you're
index is
fine.
8 out of 11. The sun's up at 6:02 for you early birds and sets at 7:42. Overnight low is 60 degrees. Sunday, high in the low 80s and lots of sunshine and humidity at 79%. That'll be a little more humid. Oh, I'm ad-libbing. UV index 8 out of 11.
One more than 10.
Oh, sun's up. I didn't know it goes that high. Sun's up at 6:03, so you can sleep in an extra minute, and sets at 7:40. That's your weekend weather from Douglas Elliman and the Melissa Cohn Group with William Ravis Mortgage. Back to you guys.
Now back
Thanks,
Yeah,
David.
thanks. Nice. You did a toss and everything.
Once again, the East Hampton Artists and Writers Charity Softball Game this Saturday, 2 o'clock, awgame.org. If you want more information, go online.
Wow. Thank you, David.
Thanks,
Thanks
David.
for joining us. And we'll watch for the highlights.
Well, actually, I have it on the computer now.
Whoa, do we want to see a highlight there?
Oh, no.
We're going to Ellen's
We're
run.
going to Ellen's run next.
Another big event.
We're live and we prove it every week. We don't rehearse. We know that you know that watching the show. It's called Weekend Live, the Hamptons now. And introduce our next guest from Ellen's.
Actually, Julie Radner started the Ellen Hermanson Foundation about many moons back. How many moons ago was that?
1996.
Wow.
Lot of
And
time.
since then, you've been very instrumental in bringing screening,
Absolutely.
cancer care, and you helped build a wing even at the Southampton.
Right.
I'm going to let you tell it. Go ahead.
The brief story. Okay, I started this in 1996 with my other sister, my late sister Emily Levin, and we did this to honor the memory of our younger sister Ellen, who was extraordinary, and she was an incredible advocate and warrior in the war against breast cancer. And so we started this little run in 1996, and everyone told us we didn't know what we were doing, and we said that's never stopped us before. We had 500 people. We actually raised $62,000, and we were off, and no pun intended, or maybe running. And so in 28 years, we have grown. Dan's rates us, we've been named by Dan's, let me say, the best sporting event in the Hamptons for many years in a row. We have raised millions of dollars. We built the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center at Southampton Hospital, which is now Stony Brook Southampton Hospital. And our mission is to ensure access to state-of-the-art breast health care and empower people affected by cancer. And no one is turned away at the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center for lack of insurance or being underinsured. And we have all these programs. We work with 4 women's groups. We have a community partnership with OLA, the Retreat, Shinnecock Indian Health Center, and the Bridgehampton Child Care and Recreational Center. And we do lots more, but that's the brief statement.
So, go ahead,
Well,
Bill.
I just wonder what the biggest stride has been since you guys started making the contributions to the funding, and what do you think's the biggest thing you guys have accomplished since the run started?
I'm not trying to say I think initially the biggest thing we did was the breast center at Southampton Hospital. And because of the equipment we donated, it was named a Breast Imaging Center of Excellence by the American College of Radiology. And it's our philosophy that healthcare is a human right, access to healthcare, and that people who live here on the East End do not need to go up island or into New York City to get state-of-the-art care. And so we were always concerned to partner with the hospital to make sure that the services here would be on a par with what you would find at a teaching hospital. I think the other terrific things we have done is we have a full-time oncological social worker, and we make sure that if a woman is diagnosed, she has a support system behind us. Behind her. She doesn't say, we're so sorry to tell you have breast cancer. Good luck. We have a patient navigator, an outreach coordinator who can work with this person and her family and get her services, help her through the very labyrinthine affair of trying to figure out what to do. Doctors, chemotherapy, what do you do? It's overwhelming, and we can help her. It's a trauma to get a diagnosis like this. We have this extraordinary oncological social worker who will work with a person. And now we have our community partnerships, and that is specifically designed because women who live on the margins for whatever reason, because they're economically challenged, they're single moms, for whatever reason, often don't get the care they need because the last person they're going to take care of is themselves, or they don't have insurance, and that should not be an impediment to getting the care you need. So I think I'm proud of a lot of things, not just one. I can't pick one.
Well, one of the ways you help raise money for this is you have 2 big events coming up. Not
Yeah.
one, but 2. And one, let's start with the first one, is the run.
On Sunday. I did my own advertising on my own billboard today.
Let's turn that one a little. It's catching a light that's reflecting.
There we
but-
go. Oh, is that
There
better?
we go.
Is that better?
I think so.
There we go.
Wow.
Well,
So
whatever.
this is
But we have
last
the
year's
website.
t-shirt.
Yes.
This year's is completely different and it's fabulous. And we always have between 800 and 1,000 runners. I know that's a big gap. It depends on the weather and people turn out last minute.
1,000 sometimes
We've had,
show up?
yes, we have.
And this year it's a hybrid event? What
It's
exactly
by
is that?
hybrid. It started
Oh, I
with.
can drive a car?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
of course you can.
I'm
It's
in.
a hybrid car. So, you know what it is? COVID did that. Because when COVID happened and we couldn't run, and we did the first the first COVID run was sort of all virtual.
Right.
And then it was really successful. People from California, Colorado, Georgia, all over ran the
Awesome.
race.
That's
So we
awesome.
decided we would always keep the in-person run, but offer a hybrid run. So if someone misses running on Sunday, August 20th, they can do it themselves, their own time, their own course. They can run, they can do 1 mile today, 1 mile tomorrow. So long as you finish it by August 31st, you've done the run. And everyone who signs up virtually will still get their T-shirt and their finisher's medal. And so we do both. So we have something for everyone.
And details are on ellenhermanson.org.
Absolutely.
And the other big event is the Summer Gala, which is coming up the
Yeah, we were
following
just
week.
showing that in the
There-
full screen there. And
Yeah.
yeah, when is that?
The Summer Gala is next Saturday, August 26th. It's at Bridgehampton Tennis and Surf Club. And, you know, it's just an incredibly beautiful venue.
On the ocean.
I know, it's really, really gorgeous. And we were supposed to have our gala there for our 25th anniversary, but it was COVID. And so we didn't, but this year we are. And, you know, Christopher Robbins is the caterer. We have two fabulous honorees. We're honoring Dr. Edna Koppenhaus, who's the medical director of the Ellen Hermanson Breast Center, and Victoria Schneps, who's the
From
publisher.
Dance
She's
Pictures.
it. She's the- here.
There she
Vicky.
is, right, Vicky. But she likes to be called Victoria.
She's the
when it's
Rupert
public.
Murdoch
Oh.
of the Hamptons. Yeah.
She's a powerhouse.
She is a powerhouse.
She really is, and she has accomplished so much in her life. She's created and done so much in the 4 years she's been here with Dan's, and she had a whole extraordinary life before she came here.
We will probably have her on next weekend to talk about that, but this weekend, the run, and where is the 5K?
The 5K begins and ends at the intermediate school in Southampton, 70 Leland Lane. You can come starting at 7:30, and people can actually register for the run right up till 9 o'clock, because you can do it on your phone, you'll be in the system, so you can register right up to the last minute.
The show runs all weekend long, so it's possible somebody watching right now can be a part of it.
Absolutely, and the course is beautiful. It's 3.1 miles. There are trophies there's a trophy for the first overall male, first overall female, first breast cancer survivor. Topi, our local florist, donates a rose for every breast cancer survivor who crosses the finish line. We have snacks, you know, for after the race. Every person who crosses the finish line gets a finisher's medal. Oh, we have a kiddie run for kids 7 and under. It's like a little 50-yard dash. We have
Oh,
little
wow.
T-shirts for them. They get a medal, you know, because they
cool.
deserve it. It's really this. It's a fun, wonderful family event, and it's accessible to everyone. And I just want to say, all the money we raise at Ellen's Run and at our gala stays here in the community. We don't take money out of the community. We leave it here. I should say we take $5,000 out for a symposium that's given in my sister's name by Judges and Lawyers Breast Cancer Alert. Except for that $5,000, every penny we raise stays here.
That's incredible. And what a legacy you've created for
Thank
your
you.
sister.
I have to say she was pretty terrific.
I can only imagine, because what you're doing is pretty terrific
So-
as well.
It is. Thanks for joining us. You've been on LTV many times, Gene Shafaroff's show about successful philanthropy.
Right.
And we're very thrilled to have had you here today. I would say break a leg, but for Ellen's Run,
No,
it's the wrong.
no.
You don't want to
you
break a
don't
leg,
break
you
a leg.
know.
It's the wrong thing to say. So,
ellenhermanson.org website, once again, if people want to sign up or buy tickets for the Summer Gala for the following week.
Thank
That's all
you.
great there.
Thank you for
Just
having
stay
me.
away from the green screen in that T-shirt.
Yeah, we.
Oh wait, should we just?
Yeah,
Should we
if
just?
you go- if you
oh,
went over
gotta
there,
go
you'd
see.
look-
Let's
I
see how
gotta
she
blend
looks,
in.
Julie.
Okay, let me
Go.
go
Let's
see.
see how Julie. You'll look headless, like the headless horseman.
This is like
Here we go. Julie's
the
gonna go.
show
for
we
the
made one of our guests look naked.
What is this? I can't see.
Oh, here we
Well,
go.
they're gonna,
You're gonna
they're
be the
put
beach.
you on, and you're gonna be a beach behind you.
There
and
you
we're
go.
gonna see the beach right through you. We think.
I hope so.
Oh, look,
Am I on the beach? Is the wind blowing my hair?
just pretend it's blowing your
You
hair
know,
there on
like-
the beach.
You want a lot for public television, lady.
Thanks again, Julie, awesome.
Thank you.
Good luck this
much.
weekend. Good luck
Yeah.
with the balance benefit.
So much.
We're gonna talk.
Ellen's Run.
We're gonna talk real estate in a
and the
minute.
gala.
Thank you. Do you want me to take? I'll take these.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah,
there we
sure.
go.
Thanks.
Bill, there's some open houses this weekend. Do we want to talk about those?
Yeah, sure. Throw them up. Let's take a look, and we're gonna do the with.
There's some big real estate news out here. that
There
we're
is.
gonna talk about in the roundtable.
Oh, let's go back. There we go.
Yeah,
Lost
we're,
it.
um,
Some open houses on Peconic Avenue at Shelter Island Heights, Little Neck Road, Southampton, 221 Division Street, Sag Harbor, 700 Hedges Lane, Sagaponic. Let's take a look at some of these if we can.
three of
There's
those are on Saturday. One is on Sunday.
nice water view on Peconic Avenue, Shelter Island Heights.
I don't even know what Shelter Island Heights is. I've
It's
been to Shelter
where
Island.
it's closer to the ferry on the north side.
All right.
Little Neck Road, Southampton. That looks fantastic. Big pool. And then 221 Division Street, that was just a new renovation that they just did. That's
Oh,
right
that's
across the
kinda
street
cool.
from the high school. It's an
Oh.
interesting property too.
Walk to high school, you
Walk to
rarely
high-
see that
yeah,
in
that's-
a
that's-
listing.
Yeah, that's not something I would like, but
And,
anyway.
and what's the last one?
At 700 Hedges Lane, that's in Sagaponic, and it's this Sunday. And that's running from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
So Saturday and Sunday, and that can only mean one thing since we're talking open houses. It must be time for
The Real
the
Estate
Roundtable.
Can we say
And-
that again?
and-
1, 2, 3.
Real
Real
Estate
Estate
Roundtable.
Roundtable.
Wow.
What fun, what fun.
Wow.
And
We
joining,
can't afford a jingle.
I'll sing, but the big news this week, actually, by the way, before we start, Aaron Curdy here from Douglas Elliman and Sarah Alvarez from William Ravis Mortgage.
Correct.
And they're here to tell us what's going on. Two big news things today. One is Jackie Kennedy's childhood home, Lasada, just sold for an astronomical $52 million.
3 million off, right? The ask was 55 million?
I think the ask was 55, went
And-
for 52.
And almost as big as the,
Originally priced at
yeah.
55.
and the big news is, who bought it?
Tom Ford,
Well, he sold his company for some like astronomical in the billion,
2.8 billion.
2.8 billion. What would you do with 2.8
There's a
billion?
drop in the
Apparently-
bucket for him.
Yeah, this is no big deal for him.
Apparently I would buy Jackie Kennedy's childhood home in the Hamptons. This was interesting to me, and then I'll let you guys talk about the specifics of it, but it was
Can we show the house at all?
bought recently, or it was bought within the last 5 years for like 24 million.
24 million.
And almost nothing done to it, or very little done to it?
Minimal,
They
right?
put in a lot of mid-century furniture. It looks
They
good.
staged
They
it.
staged
For
it.
$25 million, they staged it. And they made, that's pretty
That was-
incredible, right?
That was
Yeah,
incredible.
there it is. It's a really impressive property, but
That's a tear down.
yeah, you know what's funny? Only in the Hamptons can you go see something for 50 million and say it's a tear down.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't know. There's one on the beach. I won't name it, but
It's
I
got
remember.
old world charm.
And originally
That's
there was
old
a
world
lot,
charm. That's
there
what they
was,
call it.
there was more acreage originally, and they split off some lots a couple of years ago, is that
That
true?
was done a long time ago.
A while ago, okay.
Yeah.
So how many acres does Tom Ford get for
7.
52?
7.13.
Something.
That's privacy.
Yeah, he can walk, and he can walk to the beach. I'm sure he's gonna walk right down Further Lane, right to Maidstone or 2 Mile
Hey,
Hollow.
don't laugh, lots of famous people do.
Maybe a golf cart. And the other big news is today, probably not so good news for you, Sarah, but interest rates hit a 20-year high today.
They did
This
For
week.
30 year, this week, yes.
yesterday. Yeah, in fact, we've hit two records, one of which is that the 10-year treasury was at 4.3 yesterday, which is the highest it's been since 2007, which in itself indicates where mortgage rates are going. So while that doesn't sound like great news, that is also just the national average. That does not mean that your mortgage will necessarily be at that highest rate. And I also kind of look at it in the sense of, things could potentially get worse. So if you're really thinking about moving forward on a purchase, maybe it's time to just act.
It's always better to wait and buy and wait than wait and buy. I almost had it backwards. Yeah.
And it's your slogan.
And it's my slogan. But Aaron, so this big Tom Ford purchase, 52 million, is that gonna have an impact on the market out here, do you think?
I think so. People are buying. They want to buy, and it comes down to what it does in every market. It's location, but it's prominent in this market. That you're going to buy location, you're going to buy price right, and it's the market is tough now, but more things are coming on. Inventory's getting larger, but I think what's happening now is high end will always go because it's a great place to park your money. In a volatile market, have something like an East
It's
Hampton.
tangible, it's tangible.
Tangible, and then you have I think it's the middle. Like that 5 million, 10 million. That's a tough one. The ones, a lot of things that went into contract this week were all 3 million and under that I could see. A lot of $1 million ones that are going now.
Anything that's priced well in that segment of the market is
if you're-
extremely active. We have multiple clients reaching out, but all interested in the same properties when they're well priced and
All
between that-
interested in the same properties, that's interesting.
The New York Times does an interesting thing, and once a week they say, what does $1 million buy in Charleston, South Carolina? And it's always so depressing because in the Hamptons, it would be an outhouse. And.
Well, it's also sort of funny, the mansion tax in New York and Suffolk County specifically is 1% starting at $1 million, but does that really get you a mansion?
They
Absolutely
should
not.
redo that, I believe, because you should get a mansion.
But you should
If you're
potentially.
paying a mansion tax, I want a
I agree.
mansion. Yeah,
Or
that's-
change the name of the tax.
Change the name of the
To
tax.
tear down tax.
Tear down, yeah, that's what it is.
Now,
tear
Sarah,
down
are
tax.
people getting, as part of the movement in the market now, because we had a very slow quarter before this, but it's picking up now, and I'm seeing this across the board. But are people just getting used to these higher interest rates? And are they, what do you think?
I think some of the shock of the higher interest rates has worn off. People tend to have shorter memories. So of course, the 2 and 3% is still sort of what's top of mind. But if you really take a look back historically, we're still pretty much in line with where rates have been through a pretty significant portion of our history. I mean, if you look back to the 80s, those rates were in the teens. So
We were spoiled.
Yeah, we were spoiled for a long time.
but it has been about 20 years since we've seen rates. This is the new peak, so.
But the takeaway from what you've told us is if you have a house, you can double the price of it if you just stage it. So, I mean,
Not everyone. People try it.
it really is a new thing though, right? So people watching this now that may be thinking about selling their home, I know you're supposed to declutter, I know you're supposed to get rid of all your personal effects, but do you advise people to take all of their stuff out and have a professional put a staging of the house in there, and does it pay off?
It does help. It does help. Even, big new construction, empty houses, you need it. You need to get furniture. You need to make that investment. I just did, during COVID, two projects, and I furnished them both, and both people who bought it bought all the furniture. It was just, it
That
was
was
all
my next
brand new,
question.
it was easy.
Now, isn't that called the F word? At least that's what I call it, the F word,
what?
furniture.
Oh.
Because it can blow up
Yeah, we're-
deals.
You
Yeah.
know, but you know what, you make the deal, then you say the furniture's after, but,
Yeah, they can't finance it, right? It can't be part of the
No, you have to pay
package that the
tax on
bank look- Oh, yeah.
That's
I
a big
see.
thing,
US
yeah.
state
You have
tax.
to be careful about how that type of agreement gets worded in a contract if you're planning on financing.
Right,
Ah.
can't be in the mortgage, the New York State wants that.
So other than furniture, what else are people looking for right now that you're finding? What's
Well,
moving?
this-
What's moving? That's we did talk about that sweet spot, but I mean, are people willing to do renovations now?
They're a little reluctant to do, if it's brand new always sells, new construction will always sell because they wanna come and they wanna have the whole package. And, people are afraid to do work, it's not that hard, but they're a little reluctant, they don't know what they're gonna get into. And they hear horror stories, it's always gonna cost
Well,
more.
there was that movie, The Money Pit, where they.
Yeah.
There used to also be
That house looks like what Tom Ford
Ford
just bought.
There you
Well, that
go.
is a money pit, he could dump a lot of money into
I'm
that.
sure the minute he opens up the walls, they're gonna find stuff.
What are the taxes on a $52 million house?
Oh,
Will it get reassessed?
Oh, you know what? I did this. I did the math. His closing costs were almost $2 million.
Wow.
So that's a chunk of change.
Those taxes are going up.
And he had to pay mansion taxes on the closing costs.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, oh yeah. So, but Sarah, our rates, the crystal ball once again. They said we hit the peak last time. We didn't hit the peak. It just went up. What do you think?
August is always a little bit of a strange month. The Fed does not meet, so we're sort of dealing with just data, and the data is still pretty confusing in terms of what's being reported. So I think banks and everybody is generally just looking for a little bit of consistency in terms of success in the fight against inflation. And for better or worse, good news is bad for mortgage rates and bad news is good. So if we have a little bit of bad news on the macro scale, that can sometimes help. And it's little things like that that are going to move the needle. But banks are also much quicker to raise rates than lower them. So predictions have moved towards the end of the year for when we'll see some relief in the rate market. And I think that that relief is going to be closer maybe to like 6.5, 6.
And you were talking about floating mortgages, where you
Correct.
wouldn't have to pay to refi, where the interest rate will come down once rates
So
come down.
that's during the period prior to closing.
Right.
But if you do take a mortgage option with a float down option and rates come down, then you're able to take advantage of that. So
And just to be clear, this new rate that's now at an all-time high was not Fed inspired because the Fed didn't meet this month. It just floated up to that height?
the Fed influences the Fed rate, which basically will have an impact in terms of how much it costs for banks to borrow money. So they in turn do typically pass that along to us as consumers, but it's not necessarily a direct correlation. The closest thing to watch is the 10-year Treasury bond yields. And that actually was what I'd referenced before, which also hit a peak this week, going up to 4.3. It's down a little bit right now, but basically there's a margin over that where banks will price for mortgage rates, and in the past that margin has been below 2%, and right now it's at 3%. And there are a couple of reasons. It's risk-based pricing. Everybody's a little bit nervous. And then you also have just costs going up. As much as we see that in terms of the price for everything we're paying, for banks, it's more expensive to process a loan. They're paying higher salaries. Just every single cost has gone up, so.
I'm gonna end with Aaron, one last question. We spoke on the show a lot about how rentals were virtually non-existent this year. Give some advice to landlords who didn't rent this year. What should they do to get their house rented next year?
Great question.
I think we all heard everyone went to Europe, which they did. And prices, owners still thought they were gonna get COVID pricing, and they were surprised when they didn't. And they weren't flexible. And I think a lot of them learned a lesson. So prices went up way too high, and it was crazy, and people got prices. And now I think it's just gonna settle back down to normal pricing.
And it actually may free up some inventory because there were a lot of people who were depending on that rental income, maybe at too inflated of a number in order to support keeping the houses. So potentially this fall, we'll see some of
And
those houses hit the
there's
market.
more houses now on the market for rent.
Well, you didn't use the bubble word, which I'm almost positive is gonna happen in
No.
Palm Beach and in
That's what they keep saying in Florida, but Florida's still chugging along.
But
You know.
the banks, the regulations that the banks have now in terms of financing they're much more stringent than they were before the bubble.
Absolutely, I think
those are
there are certain markets where maybe I would be a little bit more concerned, but I think we've seen a pretty consistent pricing out here that I'm not particularly worried about that as an issue.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Real Estate Roundtable, and Tom
Aaron
Ford,
Curdy
if you're watching this show, I know you
and Sarah
probably
Alvarez.
are, invite us over, we would love to see the place.
If Tom Ford's watching, we would love to come by we'll do martinis in the afternoon.
He's a serious interview, I can just tell you. He's a very
Did you interview
focused
him?
dude. He's made 2 movies.
Oh, that's
He's
right.
directed 2 films. Yeah.
What does it tell you? I can't remember either one of them,
Uh,
but there you go.
Animal is in the title of one of them. I
Should we
only
do
this
weather
for a living.
again?
Yeah, time for the weather. And we have lots to talk about this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Weekend weather brought to you by Douglas Elliman Real Estate and by the Melissa Cohn Group with William Ravis Mortgage.
Oh, Bill's
More
going to
at
the green screen.
Ravis.com. Yeah, why not? I never get to do the green.
Thanks, guys. That was great.
High in the mid-70s, mostly sunny, humidity at 58%. UV index 8 out of 11, sun's up at 6:02, sets at 7:42. That overnight low, 60 degrees. Sunday, high in the low 80s and lots of sunshine, humidity at 79%, UV index 8 out of 11. The sun's up at 6:03, sets at 7:40. That is a very concise look at your weekend weather with some notes there. Brought to you by Douglas Elliman and the Melissa Cohn Group with William Ravis Mortgage. Now, back to, I'm get to do, David Brandman taught me the toss. Now
There you
back
go.
to,
There we go. Well,
now back
listen,
live to Patrick
There's lots to
McLaughlin.
go.
Everyone's like, I gotta go.
Okay.
Well, you're okay? Okay, good. Thanks, Andy. Steve Herman is here again.
Yes,
He's our
he's-
friend from Southampton.
He's brought an exciting new artist with him, and we're gonna talk Cuba, and we're gonna talk about everything going on in the art world at his new gallery, Center Gallery in Southampton. It used to be Christie's and has the only legal neon in the city of Southampton. Did you know that?
Is it the city of Southampton or the
Yeah,
village of
the
Southampton?
village town, I don't know what it's called.
It's
Yeah.
a village. It's a village.
Yeah, now we were gonna, I wanna, he brought a piece of art, we gonna have a look at that as well? Well, come on in, guys.
Let's just get everyone in
Oh,
here.
hey,
There
you
we
know
go.
what? I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna hold that over here.
Wow, that is all.
I'll
Steve, you
I'll
come
just
over and
go to the
we'll
beach,
sit and
you
we'll
guys
chat
go
here.
sit down.
Okay. Do you have coffee or anything? Do you need anything?
Where would you like me?
Oh,
We don't rehearse and we prove it. Here's, yeah, come on in.
Bill, where would you like Alexia? Here, you guys can sit.
This is some of the art that we're gonna talk about by this very talented artist. And, very cool piece. Now, what is this titled?
That one is called Freedom Torch.
This is the Freedom Torch. And what's this go for?
You're not allowed to say prices.
Oh, right, we're not,
But we're here.
the artist actually whose amazing work that is. Steve Hartman and Andy Torres, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so what's going on?
Alexis Torres.
Alex
Alexi.
Torres. Oh, God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't read my own handwriting sometimes.
It's okay, we're on the witness relocate,
Yeah.
location program of art.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks like we're holding a bill. Nice
Yeah.
piece of, oh, wait.
How did they do
There we go.
that?
I don't
Oh, I
know.
see, we're on the green screen.
Okay, there we go.
Very cool.
Gentlemen, welcome. It's a little disorganized. There's so much going on this weekend in the Hamptons, but you have brought a very, very talented gentleman to talk to us about coming to the Hamptons and showing your work. Welcome to Weekend Live.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for both being here again. So tell us about the show a little bit, Al, guys.
Well, we're very excited. Alexi is one of the best painters that I've seen in the last several decades with very unique techniques. And we have about 12 different paintings and 3 different sculptures at the gallery and a reception tonight from 6 to 8.
That's Friday night, so, and all weekend long, are you around to talk to folks and meet people that come into the gallery?
We are.
Yeah.
We've been keeping the
Congratulations.
gallery open 7 days a week.
Now, where is your
Wow.
home? Where are you from?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I will be here. I came yesterday. We had an opening, and tonight we have another one from 6 to 8.
Right, that'd be Friday,
Yeah.
and then you're around all weekend as well.
No, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, his artwork will be around all week.
Yeah, they are working
It's the
here.
opening all
Yeah.
weekend, and you were originally born in Cuba.
Yes.
And how does that influence your take on the American landscape?
It does a lot. So what I'm doing now, I believe that it had to do with when I was a child in Cuba, the way that I used the basket weaving as an organic element to build things with, like my paintings. And the fact that I start each painting when the moon is waning, like my father and the farmers in my town there where I was born, they use the moon to plant the seeds, and then they wait few cycles to harvest it. So I do that the same thing to my paintings today, like working with universal laws to create a work.
You start during a full moon, or you start
waning
during
moon.
Which moon?
waning
Waning moon.
Oh, okay, the waning moon.
Yeah.
That's the little
I have a
sliver,
good
just a
accent.
little bit.
Now, what mediums do you do? Are you exclusively oil, or what is your medium?
Oil and canvas. I do bronze sculptures, stainless steel sculptures, and I'm doing embroideries as well, which is a series of small works with million stitches.
Wow.
That we can, they're here at the gallery as well, so anybody can come and see. It's unbelievable, yeah.
Steve, your eye is always on the horizon for the next thing, and you're very excited about this gentleman. What is the specific reason that you think he's the next big thing?
We look for artists that are very innovative, but they have a signature style and iconography where you can look at it and say, this is a Picasso, this is a Rembrandt, this is an Alexi Torres. And he just has a depth perspective unlike anything that I've ever seen in art history. We looked at it originally, and I had Alexi FaceTime video with me for 90 straight days showing me the evolution of a canvas, because you would almost think that a machine or a computer had to do it.
How many moon cycles was that, Alexi?
It isn't the
3
signature.
full-
This one
3
isn't the
full moons
signature.
talking to him on Zoom? Yeah?
And it was probably on a waning moon when we got together, so it worked out.
Okay.
Now, how did you two connect? And how did you convince him to come to the Hamptons in the middle of the summer?
It's actually a very interesting story. I was in an art fair in Palm Beach, and I saw 2 paintings of his. And they were very good paintings where I looked at the brushstroke and I'm like, this is one of the best artists I've ever seen. I wind up meeting him and I said, show me what else you do. It was around February 26th of 2020. And
Perfect
I
timing.
realized that COVID was going to shut the world down. And I told him at that time, I can change your life. And I think that we can do something extraordinary together, but I think we have to wait. I think the world is going to shut down, and let's do this at the appropriate time when the world opens up again. I had a hunch that galleries would be closed, that art fairs would be canceled, which is what happened.
Right.
And about 9 months later, I called him back up and I said, I think it's go time. And we launched it 2 years ago at an art fair in the Hamptons, and we sold out the booth.
Wow.
And it was
Wow.
all-
That's
we were
that's
off to
no
the
small
races
feat.
from there.
That's
Yeah.
no small feat.
We're not allowed to talk price points, but we're not talking about extremely inexpensive art. We're talking about a substantial artist selling out a fair number of canvases and some sculptures. And so it's not an insignificant feat. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a testament to Alexi. He has a work ethic that is extraordinary. And I feel that he's not only one of the best artists walking the planet, but he's one of the best people and one of the most grateful individuals I've ever come across. In a world of not as many grateful people as there should be out there, this man is just exemplary in all facets of life.
So Alexi, what's next for you after this show here in Southampton?
We just went together today over the plan for Art Basel,
Oh, wow.
and I just got busy.
Now, Art Basel is when, it's December?
December
It's
5th to
December,
10th this
yeah.
year. It's pushed back 1 week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I already have few paintings that I've been working on for the show, but we kind of discussed what's best to do, what is aligned on the next painting. So we add few paintings to those works we're gonna present. So I'm gonna be very busy, very
No,
busy, happily
wonderful.
busy because that's
Get to
what-
work, get to work.
Yeah.
They gotta
We're lucky
do-
you're here.
Yeah.
I am.
Now, Steve, how long is Alexi's work gonna remain in the gallery?
All the way through the season, so approximately September 19th.
Or until it's sold out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's hope for selling out. That
Look
would
for the
actually.
little red dots. You know, you might reminded me of my wife who collects photography, and she'll look at a photograph and go, I like that, but I don't like the rest of his work, so she won't collect. And what you said about liking everything he does makes that the kind of person that the collectors seek. She's the brains of the outfit, Mrs. McCuddy, in the
And a great artist, you know, throughout history. If you take somebody like Picasso, they might make 7 great paintings, 2 good and 1 bad one out of 10 pieces. A local artist, it doesn't mean that they don't produce something very good once every 50 or 100 tries, but the great ones are very consistent in their approach, that have a signature style and iconography, and the amount of editing that needs to be done is very little. So that's what I look for to promote an artist like Alexi.
Well, listen, we are thrilled you guys came. We got a sneak peek. Let's show again the
What's the name of it? This again, Alexi, is?
The Freedom
Freedom
Torch.
Torch.
Freedom Torch.
Yeah.
That's a
Starring
brilliant.
me and, okay.
Oh,
no,
I know. Now
there
it's
you are.
Steve. Now
Yeah.
It's 60
yeah.
inches high, so they have more.
Yeah, and for people who can't get a sense of it on
Yeah.
watching on television now, it's about 4 or 5 feet tall and about 2 feet wide. Yeah, and there we go.
Really
We're
lovely.
actually
It's
panning.
panning. Ah.
We have the technology. Listen, guys, that is.
Thanks very
And you
much.
were so kind to leave that. We will treasure that now here at LTB.
Yeah, it's gonna be Mr.
And
McCutcheon's
those
house later
couple
today.
boxes of Cuban cigars.
Yeah.
Yes, Alexi,
Alexi Torres, thank you.
Bring
I
cigars.
just have to
with-
say that Steve Hartman is one of the best dealers ever as well. And nobody works like him, nobody is so smart and focused like him. So it's been a great teamwork. I'm very grateful for him. I mean, it's been really good.
Wow, you really have this guy really under your thumb. We love
No,
Steve, and
it's the
he's,
truth.
he's
and
doing great things in Southampton.
be
The
said.
Amazing
gallery-
thing, the gallery, the
gallery is
website.
gorgeous, and we're thrilled that you came by to share with us some of your work. Thanks.
And thanks, and more time to talk to you this time than last time.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he was on time this time. Last time
come-
Steve got here like,
Oh, the
I don't know how you
traffic, we
did
were
it.
panicked on the way here again.
you know, but how can this town be so crowded? No one rented out this year and
That's
the
what they
traffic
say.
is worse than ever. I don't get it.
Luckily, we switched to Waze and we found another ways of getting here.
Ah, awesome. Thanks,
Nicely
guys,
said.
again.
All right,
Alexi
thanks for
Torres.
joining
Thank you
us.
so
Steve,
much.
thank you.
Steve
Good to see
Hartman,
you, sir.
Contessa Gallery. Yeah, thanks, guys. Cheers.
What's
Thanks
at the
so much.
movies this weekend? If
Oh
you're,
yeah,
if you
let's
don't
go
wanna,
to the let's go to the movies.
what's playing in Sag Harbor? What's playing in East Hampton?
Yeah, I'm going to show you because there isn't a whole lot of new, but there is one new film that we are going to show
Blue
you
Beetle.
the trailer of. Yeah,
You are a superhero, cabrón. Let's party. I'm on my way. No way. See, way. Blue Beetle, rated PG-13.
That was kind of quick.
boom, Blue Beetle.
Boom, baby.
That's here. Throw up the times. That's playing at East Hampton.
Movie theater weekend. Yeah. They're Sag Harbor first.
They've got the usual suspects: Barbie, Oppenheimer. Contempt is a French Godard film, and The Indian in the Cupboard is the 11 a.m. kids movie on Saturday.
And Sunday.
And
And
Sunday. And then in East Hampton, that's where you can see Blue Beetle. And it's gonna be a gorgeous weekend, so I'm not sure it's gonna make a whole lot of money at the Regal in East Hampton, but it is playing there along with Barbie and Oppenheimer and all the other.
I still
usual
haven't seen
suspects.
Barbie.
Check the website for.
But speaking of, I still haven't seen Barbie yet, no. I saw Indiana Jones, so that was like a big accomplishment for me to make it to
Congratulations,
the
but I
movie
think
theater.
you're the only person on the planet that hasn't seen Barbie.
Did anyone else see Barbie here?
Yes,
Yeah,
we did.
everybody's
All right, everyone saw Barbie. But
What about
and
our next guest?
Our next guest, actually, he did not see Barbie.
Did not.
But it's a nice
So
weekend.
I'm sorry you'll have to leave, sir, but thanks for joining us.
Now, Andy Hudman, if you don't know him, you should know him, especially if you have kids or you like hanging out in the water. That is what the Hamptons is about. It's about sand, sea,
Yeah.
surf, and let's talk more about surf with Andy. How are you, Andy?
How are you? Good.
Good.
Thank
So
you.
tell us a little bit about what you do out here
On a weekend.
on a weekend. What do you do on weekends, Andy?
Basically water sports and kiteboarding was the original sport I've been doing for about 24 years, teaching actually for 24 years.
Oh my God! Wow.
And surfing, and now the hydrofoil's taken a lot of traction lately. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It looks like someone's basically flying on the water above the water, cruising around.
We're gonna walk over to the beach, or you and Patrick are, and I'll hold the fort down
Oh, I
here.
have shorts on. I can't.
Yeah, you'll look good. And then we're gonna look at a hydrofoil. It looks hard. Is it difficult to learn how to do?
It's definitely a different balance point for people to learn, but it's definitely feasible for everybody. It just takes time.
Do you have that?
Video. We have some video. I
We'll show
believe.
some video, but do you have that big round tube that just pulls people?
Yeah.
That's my speed. I'm
That's
there
too
for
boring for me.
that. And where are you based out of? So what?
Dorado, Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm there in the winter, and then I live in Hampton Bays in the summer now. This is my third season.
So it's in Hampton Bays, where we're.
Yeah, and the Shinnecock Bay, I have people meet me in various locations, and I have a jet ski that I work off of, and depending on the wind conditions and the weather is kind of where I meet people.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
so-
website again, Andy? I'm gonna.
Pro Waterman.
Pro Water.
Ah, there we go.
Look, you can train like a pro.
And
Very cool.
what got you into this? I mean, this is kind of funky stuff.
Yeah, surfing in South Florida. I'm born and raised in Palm Beach, and I was always in water sports. And then when I saw kiteboarding come out about 25 years ago, I definitely was very intrigued with it and wanted to do it.
That's really cool.
Enough to want to teach it to people.
Yeah,
which you
yeah.
became, down there and then up here.
Yeah,
And
I've
you
been-
spend the summers now up here?
Yep,
How long have you been doing that?
this is my third season.
And if someone wants, how far in advance do they have to book with you? Like, if I want to take a lesson on Sunday, can I?
I put you on the list, and then we look at the weather, and then I touch base with them a few days before and say, hey,
Now, what are
let's-
we looking at here, Andy?
Oh, that's the foil?
That's the hydrofoil, right?
Yeah, that's the electric hydrofoil. So it's powered with a prop on the bottom. And basically there's different levels that you start at. So this lady here is on her knees. I'm showing her on land first. And then you can go on your stomach, knees, and standing. So there's definitely the stages that take your time learning, and you don't feel rushed learning.
And you were telling me you have helmets where you instruct people. They wear.
Yeah, waterproof radio helmets, so I can coach you on the spot.
No kidding. That's cool.
Like she has a radio on, I'm talking to her, telling her where to go and stuff.
All right, we're going to hand you the foil because we were
We're
going to
afraid
walk
of the
over to the
green
beach,
screen.
but it's easier to talk over this footage here, and it's better for you to have folks see what you can do. So that thing looks intimidating. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you're taught properly and you know if you're losing your balance, you jump off to the side, and basically it's
Looks
not
like
as
you could
dangerous as
take-
it looks.
looks like you could take
Yeah,
the fin off of a dolphin.
But it's like this big wing here, when it moves through the water, if you get speed and you get a little bit of a rise, just
Right.
like an airplane wing, then it lifts through the water. Then you can level it out, so you can stay on foil or go back down. So it's a lot of the forward and back motion that
Interesting.
propels through the water and actually flies. And I'll tell you, the feeling that you get through the water when you're on foil, it's absolutely amazing because it feels like you're flying. There's no friction. A boat can go by and you can literally go through the wave and don't feel the waves. It
No
just
kidding.
slices through because this is so thin.
I mean, you have to keep your balance. I mean, you have
Right,
to,
right.
Is it more difficult to stay up on that than it is to, let's say, stay up on water skis?
Yeah, probably a little bit because you have the side to side and forward and back balance.
Uh-huh.
But it's like if you see here the kids on the he's not on foil or she's not on foil there. So she's learning that balance first. Then once you go on foil, it's the same balance, just a little bit more touchy.
So there's a board that goes on top of
there's
what
a
you're
board.
showing us here, and that's what you stand on. And then do you work it the way you work a surfboard to get it to move and turn?
Similar, yep. You have a lot more weight forward because you want to keep the foil tame and not rise unless you want it to and you mean to. So that's the control you get. And learning on your knees on the electric e-foil is really nice because you can actually go on foil first on your knees and then say, okay, I'm ready to stand, and then you can surf it and then go on foil.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, the electric foil is its own thing, but this is being pulled by a boat, right? Or in your case, a jet ski?
So what's cool about the sport, hydrofoiling has only been out for about 6 years now.
Right.
Where it's really been popular, and you can put it on a windsurf board, you can put it on a kite board, you can put it on a surfboard. They even have sailboats now with these foils, so it's really taken off. And the wing too, people have seen, it looks like a windsurfer, but you're holding a wing and you have a similar board, not electric.
You know what, Andy? I pulled up something on the computer that you had on your website. I don't know if we can take this, but you actually went to Alaska, and I'm trying to get rid of this. Oh, why is this? Oh,
Well,
damn
go
it.
ahead and throw it up. We don't care about the sound.
There we go. But you went actually wakeboarding in Alaska.
Yeah, it was amazing. Really, really unique.
Are those some whales
Can we
there?
take that,
Can we
Jay?
take
Oh,
this
those
or
are
not?
killer whales.
Oh, we can't take it.
Okay.
Oh, bummer. But
Well,
people
anyway,
can
it's
go to
on
your
your site.
website.
It's on your website, and you're like jumping icebergs.
Yeah, jumping through icebergs and stuff. It was very cool.
Wow.
Now, where can you pretty much do this anywhere, any water mass out here, or the regulations where and
You can do it pretty much everywhere, because
It
there's
has to be calm.
yeah,
Yes.
ideally. So you want good. That's why I was saying I meet my clients in different locations depending on the weather conditions. I like to get the best conditions possible, and that's one thing I love about Long Island and the Hamptons is there's just so many pretty spots that you can get access to easily. So that's really nice.
I like that people call you, you go, no, it's a little rough over here, why don't we meet over
Yeah.
there? And so you're very flexible in that way.
Of course, it's a little tricky too because of the driving in the summer. It's a little. And they're like, "No, you come to me." I'm like, "No, you come to me."
Now, if anyone wants to sign up, your website once again, Andy.
Yeah, basically, the best way to do it is contact me directly. Then we can talk about weather and your goals.
How typically long? I mean, 1 hour lesson, I'm assuming.
It's an hour and a half session for the e-foil.
Do most people get up on the first lesson?
Yep.
They get up on the first.
Wow.
Even you
Yeah.
can do it. Bill. I can
no.
do it maybe.
I think I'm a challenge. I've never gotten up on water skis, and I've tried.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I have no upper bodies. I'm basically Jabba the Hutt.
Well, you don't need upper body for that. It's just getting from your knees to standing, and then you learn the balance. I teach on land first, so some land training
Right.
to prep you for the water.
Wow, that sounds great.
And
I'm
you're-
still not doing it.
You're teaching here till the end of the season. What's the end of the season this year?
I'm going to be here all the way till mid-November, so I have wetsuits.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then back to Puerto Rico and teaching over there.
And where in Puerto Rico are you?
Dorado,
And how is everything down there now after?
amazing, good.
Are they back
Yeah.
to normal back
Yeah.
down there?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I
to
mean,
know.
for like a month and a half, no electricity originally,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
Were you there then?
I was
Oh, wow.
for the hurricane. Yeah,
And how long did before you could get out of
I
Dodge?
snuck out of there after 2 weeks. A friend got me on a flight, and I was able to go back to Florida. And I had
Wow.
my dog on my lap. I have a 60-pound dog, and the airlines let me put it on my friends and on my lap.
Oh, that's
That
awesome.
was cool. Yeah.
Go to his website and watch him being pulled around
I mean, that
the Antarctic, or I don't know where that was.
it was
but-
Alaska.
Alaska. Yeah,
Alaska.
you said that. I apologize.
No, but that was really incredible.
Andy Herdman, thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank
Andy,
you,
thank
guys.
you.
Thank
Awesome
you.
having you here.
Hey, if you're just joining us, this was another great segment on Weekend Live, where I'm as stunned as you are because we don't normally do this. This is a summer show that we decided to throw together. LTV said, sure, let's do it. And we've had spectacular guests all summer long. So much going on this weekend that we need to get to. The first thing we want to talk to is about tag sales.
Tag sales,
We do
yes.
this every week, and we get so much email about this being one of their favorite things. They're in Hands Creek in East Hampton on Saturday and Sunday. They're on Madison Street in Sag Harbor on Saturday. They're in Fresh Pond Road in Amagansett on Saturday only. And then in Sag Harbor, Saturday on Bay Street. Bay Street has, listen to this, a puppet theater. Kids can
A puppet
actually get a
theater?
whole puppet theater. This could be my career. This could be I've been waiting for this. Designer wear vintage clothes, that's in Sag Harbor. A lot of vintage silver at Fresh Pond Road, and antique bamboo and wicker rugs on Madison Street in Sag Harbor. We would have no more show and never be allowed to do this if we didn't point out that there is on Saturday the Maidstone Music Festival with 3 bands: Student Body, Jothrosa, The Tides of Atlantis, 4 to 9 at Maidstone Park Road in East Hampton. And
Do we know anyone in this band?
full disclosure,
Ah.
we do know one man in the band, Jody Gambino, and
He wrote our theme song,
yes,
Bill.
he wrote our theme song, and go see those bands from 4 to 9 o'clock. Also, the Hamptons Dance Project 5 is Saturday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Music, choreography, and tap. We love tap. Fireplace Lodge, I didn't know we do, but we apparently do, in East Hampton. More at guildhall.org.
Can you interview, I think we have the guy over here who organized the entire,
Oh, who's the
Oh,
guy?
yeah,
Jody,
yeah.
come
Oh,
on.
Oh,
Oh.
man, oh no!
Jody Gambino is the
Just 3
man.
minutes left, and I got like a million other things. Jody, while you sit down, we also would be very remiss if we didn't say that Dan's Out East Impact Awards to honor the LGBTQ+, and it was hard enough without plus. Now they're
Yeah.
adding math.
Yeah.
LGBTQ+ is Sunday afternoon at Blue Mar. My dear friend Patrick McLaughlin and I will be the hosts.
Oh, look, that lucky audience, right, Jody?
There you go.
Jody's rolling his eyes.
I'm literally his straight man. Don't go by this shirt. And
Go by this shirt.
Ellen, we talked about, also Sergio Mendes. Remember Sergio Mendes in Brazil?
And Brazil
66?
66
Well,
and
it's just Sergio
77.
now. Apparently Brazil 66 has gone 86.
Great version.
West Hampton Beach Performing Arts Center. Jody, tell us about Jothrosa.
Sure. Well, Jothrosa is me and a couple boys that have been playing together for a long time, but now we're under the name Jothrosa. It's
What do you play?
I play guitar and I sing.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're
And you're a painter
and a jeweler.
and a jeweler and a TV tech guy.
Yes.
You wear many hats, including
did.
that very nice
I
one
did.
today. Very nice hat.
So I'm
Jody.
turning 35, and I hadn't thrown a party since I was 30. So we figured
Oh, so this is around your birthday?
it's my birthday. Yeah.
And
Oh,
Student
yeah.
Body, were you telling me Student Body is a very popular band out
Student
here?
Body's big out here. They do like punk rock electro, and they always do some kind of performance art with their show.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So-
Maidstone Park Road, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 o'clock at night. It says rain or shine. It's a free event.
Mhm.
Rain or shine meaning, do you have a pavilion or someplace?
We
you
have a
can play under?
pavilion, and then
You have the
we're
Maidstone Park
gonna
Pavilion.
line it with tarps if it rains, so we'll be kind of encased in there. And we used to do this in high school all the time.
Really?
And since more people have moved out here and the rules and the laws have gotten a little more strict, how to get permits and insurance and all that type of stuff. So it's been a little harder to do it than when I was in high school.
Wow, and
But,
it's free.
It's
That's
free.
cool.
It's
Going down.
Saturday,
Yeah, we'll have hot
from
dogs and hamburgers.
4 to 9.
Go to the artists and writers baseball game at like 2. Make fun of whoever you want to that's bad that you're a fan of, and then get in the car and go to Maidstone Park Road in East Hampton.
And the
It's
Dan's
the-
Out East Impact Awards
And
Sundays.
and
Come see
Sunday,
us.
then come and see us.
Bill's going to be signing autographs on Sunday, so it's we're going to set up a table with some headshots, and he'll be
that'll
your TV buddy, Bill McCuddy.
That's
So,
nice.
All right. Well, our director Jason was pointed out that this would be a great guest, and he was
He
right.
really was.
Hey,
Jody,
thanks.
you were awesome.
Thank you for
From
having
behind
me.
the
Appreciate
scenes,
it.
all the art you saw, he brought it in. He set everything up. Oh, he's gone. He's
Oh,
so
Jody
gone.
left.
He's so
Jody
shy.
left.
Turn the cameras on.
He's like Elvis. He's left the building. Hey, 30 seconds left. Thank you for joining us. We are here
We're very
every
grateful to
weekend
be here.
through September 8th. Douglas Elliman, so fun. It's so nice to be one of our sponsors, along with William Ravis Mortgage. And we're here every weekend, all weekend long,
Till September 8th.
till September 8th.
That's the first I heard that. So
The
there you go.
lovely Bridget Leroy joins us on the 1st. Until then, thanks. I'm Bill McCuddy. He's Patrick McLaughlin. We'll
Thanks,
see you.
Jody. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Mike. Thanks, everyone.